So in the NFL at times, it seems like it's a gladiator league where only the strong survive. It seems like every year players are joining the league bigger, stronger, and more fast than ever before. See DK Metcalf, for example. So DK Metcalf is 6'4", he weighs 225 pounds, and he ran a 4.33 40-yard dash time. His combine and his build was so impressive, it was trending, and eventually led to him being drafted by the Seattle Seahawks, where he's having a pretty good season for right now. But in this video, we're going to start off highlighting the small guys. Some of these names and heights might surprise you as I list the best players at every height in the NFL for 2019. Now quickly, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications. I post sports videos almost daily, and it helps the channel out a lot. So at 5'6", we got Tyreek Hill. Darren Sproles was the honorable mention for this award because he's been dominating or holding it down for the little guys for a minute. But right now, I think we can easily say Tyreek Hill is the best 5'6" guy in the league. And he's a pretty versatile back for the Bears. He doesn't really do too much damage in the run game, but he can catch the ball really well. He's deadly on special teams. And his size and speed just make him a mismatch. So one thing about these small players is they're usually a lot more agile than I guess the bigger players who have bigger feet and slower steps. So for sure, one thing you'll notice as this list continues is the small players is nothing but skill position. Next up at 5'7", we have Nicole Roby, defensive back for the Rams. The Rams have a pretty good secondary. By no means is Nicole Roby an all-pro defensive back, but he's a starter and he makes some plays from time to time. Next up at 5'8", we have Taylor Gabriel, talented receiver of the Chicago Bears. Now the Bears actually have a pretty solid receiving core. Their QB position might be a question mark, but they have some playmakers in that receiving core, and Taylor Gabriel is one of them. At 5'9", we have T.Y. Hilton of the Indianapolis Colts. He's been a pretty dominant receiver. When healthy, he's good for 1,000, 1,200, 1,300 receiving yards. And again, all these little small guys, they're shifty, they're deadly, they're fast. I think them being such a compact package, it's easy to lose them in coverage. It's hard to keep up with them. And again, they're a small target, so it's really hard to tackle. At 5'10", we had two options. Could have went Tyreek Hill, could have went Kyler Murray. Right now, Tyreek Hill is for sure the better player in the NFL. The Pro Bowl receiver has more or less taken the league by storm with his speed and with his athleticism. At first, he started out as more of a special teamer, but in the recent years, he's become a dominant receiver, and he's just one of those guys you gotta double team in the secondary. You gotta keep a safety over top. You honestly have to scheme around him. He's just that dominant in such a small package at 5'10". At 5'11", we're easily going Christian McCaffrey. Honorable mention, could have did Odell, but he had a down year with the Browns. I was shocked he passed 1,000 receiving yards. Christian McCaffrey, on the other hand, he kind of dominated the league. He took the league by storm. Now, the Panthers do run their entire system through him, but nonetheless, he put up big boy numbers that you must respect. Christian McCaffrey finished the 2019 season with over 1,300 rushing yards, over 1,000 receiving yards, and over 162 punt return yards. In total, he had over 2,500 yards on the season. For the Carolina Panthers, he had a monster season, 15 TDs on top of that. He easily takes the crown for the best player at 5'11". Next up at 6 foot. Now this is kind of the sweet spot for running backs. You saw we just had McCaffrey at 5'11". At 6 foot, I thought about going Saquon. I thought about going Zeke. Zeke had, 1,300 yards? Kind of a down year for him. Saquon got injured, so we're going to defense. Aaron Donald, former league MVP. We know he's a beast. We know he's a monster. We know what he can do. And he's one of the shorter defensive linemen on this list. It's going to be a lot of D linemen late in the list, but at 6 foot, for him to be the best defensive lineman in the league and the best 6-footer in the league, it's honestly crazy and kind of remarkable. So one thing about being a defensive lineman or offensive lineman, you need long arms. You need long arms so you can engage, I guess, your defender or whoever you're trying to block first. That's why they tend to be taller. Aaron Donald, being only 6 foot and being as dominant as he is, again, it's an amazing feat. Former league MVP, easy decision. At 6, we have Stefon Gilmore. Again, easy decision. He honestly had a year you could compare to Problems or Revis Island, where nobody could throw at him or get really any completions on him. Stefon Gilmore was easily the best DB in the league this year, and honestly the backbone of that Patriots defense that was so good in the regular season, but just couldn't really stop the run in the playoff. At 6'2", we have the soon-to-be league MVP, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson had his coming out party this year. Nobody could tackle him. Nobody could stop him. Teams have tried tons of things to slow him down, and to no avail. He's just dominated team after team after team. So Lamar Jackson is going to stand alone as the best player at 6'2". Now at 6'3", this could honestly be a 3-way, 4-way tie. You guys can comment down below who you think the best player at 6'3" is. At 6'3", though, we have Michael Thomas, led the league in receiving yards this year. We have Derrick Henry, led the league in rushing yards this year. We have Khalil Mack, Kind of a down year for him and the Bears in general, but he's still a beast. Patrick Mahomes, going on a great playoff campaign, just got injured and missed a few games. If you want to throw in a wrench, you can even throw in Richard Sherman again, one of the backbones of that 49ers defense. Since it's the most important position on the field, I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes. They're also on a good playoff campaign. We're gonna go with Patty, but it's a lot of talent at that 6'3" spot. At 6'4", we got Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa, again, one of those guys, came in as a rookie. We knew he was gonna be this good, but I don't think anybody expected him to be this good, this fast. A lot of people had him as the unanimous rookie defensive player of the year, and some people even think he should be just a flat-out MVP, defensive MVP of the league. Nick Bosa's been a monster this year. At 6'5", we got Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce's been one of the best tight ends in the league for a minute. Like right now, he's going on his 4,000-yard plus season. He's putting up receiver numbers from a tight end position. And this is a league full of talented tight ends, but he still stands out a notch above the rest easily as one of, if not the best tight end in the league. If I'm being honest, him and George Kittle, who happen to be 6'4", are two of my favorite tight ends in the league to watch. Now at 6'6", we venture into the big boys, the behemoths. We venture into the O-linemen. So at 6'6", I'm going to go with Ryan Ramczyk, offensive lineman for the New Orleans Saints. Now, if you don't know about Ramczyk, hopefully I'm saying his name right. This guy started out working at a grocery store. He started out working at a grocery store. He pretty much went away to college, came back home, thought he was through with football, but he missed the game so much, well that, or he just hated, I guess, regular life. So he placed the call to one of his former coaches, they got him back on the college team, and I guess you can say the rest is history. At 6'7", we have Andrew Whitworth, offensive lineman for the Rams. The Rams actually had one of the best O-lines in the league last year when they made their Super Bowl run. Had a really good O-line this year too, just couldn't really put all the pieces together. With that said, he was one of the leaders of that great O-line that led them to a Super Bowl. And surprisingly enough, he's actually an older player, but he's one of the better players. Now at 6'8", we're starting to inch towards these skyscrapers. These guys you just don't see them in the NFL. Usually when a guy is 6'8", you kind of switch sports, right? You go to basketball, maybe you go to volleyball. 6'8" is a true skyscraper in the NFL, but we have Calais Campbell, a very productive, very good, all-pro level caliber type of player, type of defensive end. He gave the Cardinals some great seasons, and now he's with the Jaguars, still doing his thing, still holding it down. Now, one of the reasons why you won't see so many skyscrapers or guys over 6'6" in the NFL is because you give up your leverage. The NFL is all about leverage and hip bend, and at certain heights, you just can't get any leverage. You have to be just amazingly flexible to get leverage, even at 6'8", so it's very impressive. Calais Campbell is as good as he is at 6'8". Now lastly, at 6'9", the tallest guy in the league right now till this day, I'm pretty sure, at 6'9", we have Alejandro Villanueva. So this guy is an offensive tackle for the Steelers, and he's also a former veteran, so salute the troops. Shout out to Alejandro Villanueva. And alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope y'all learned something new. If I missed anyone at any height, hey, comment down below, let me know. Here's a test. I challenge you guys in the comments, find some players 5'8". I couldn't find many players 5'8" or 5'7". 5'6", we had Cohen, we had Sproles, but it was kind of a drought until I got to 5'9", T.Y. Hilton. But there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, if you're new, like, subscribe, turn on notice. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.